More on my DVDs. Ahoy ahoy everybody, and welcome to the next part of a look at my DVD collection. Previous parts available on the playlist if you haven't seen them and if you're interested. Basically we're just going through my DVD collection, seeing what I've got. As you can tell by the part number, it's quite a lot. So let's carry straight on. This is Fame. This is the original movie, Alan Parker's film from 1980, I want to say. Yes, I do want to say 1980, so I will say from 1980. If you're of my generation, you're very familiar with what this is about, because Fame is through the TV series was just the thing of the early 80s, but it's based in the New York School of Performing Arts, and it's basically the story of the students who enroll one year. But yes, really good film. Prefer the films to the TV series, but I enjoyed the TV series. This is a Region 1 DVD of 40 Days and 40 Nights, the Josh Hartnett romantic comedy type film. Also stars the divine Shannon Sossamon. Basically, he's a bit of a stud who makes a vow to go 40 days and 40 nights without sex, and it's all about the temptations that face him in that period. But yes, good film. The Wonderful Fight Club. First rule of Fight Club: watch it. The wonderful Edward Scissorhands, Tim Burton, probably my favourite director. This is early work of his. This is his first collaboration with Johnny Depp. Winona Ryder's in it, who I adore. It's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful film. Highly recommended if you haven't seen it, but I'm sure most of you have. If you ever get a chance to see the ballet, and this is a sentence I would never expect to say, go and watch the ballet. I was dragged, well, I wasn't dragged, but I went because I love the film, and it was really good. This is Silk. This is a Keira Knightley film, hence it's in my collection, because all her films are in my collection. It's about a couple. He works on the Silk Road, whatever do they call it? Is it the Silk? Yeah, it is the Silk Road. Selling silk. He's French. Kira's his wife. It's mainly about him. And stuff that happens. It's a romantic drama-y type film. He gets involved with one of the Chinese women. Yeah, it was alright. It's not great. Kira, as always, is magnificent, but I am biased. I wouldn't chase it out if you're not a fan of Kira, or whatever his name is, Michael Pitt. Alfred Molina's in it. Alfred Molina's always watchable, so I wouldn't chase it out, but if it pops up on telly, it's worth a watch. This is The House in Nightmare Park, which is a 1973 British comedy horror film starring Frankie Howard. It wasn't very good. I didn't find it particularly funny. It wasn't scary at all. I wouldn't bother with it personally. It was cheap. I got it because I like Frankie Howard, but had its moments, but it wasn't great. This is a Region 1 DVD of Lie With Me, which is a very sensual, almost explicit but not quite, romantic drama type thing, starring Divine Lauren Smith. She's a bit of a nympho, basically, and it's about her relationship with Eric Balfour, and you know, plot-wise it doesn't sound much, but it's an enjoyable film, and she is wonderful in it. In a previous part, I showed you a DVD of the film Scandal and explained that it's one I've bought many times because there's a scene that's always missing that was on the VHS, and I'm trying to get a copy of the film on disc that includes that scene, but so far to no avail. But this is another copy of it. This is, I think the one I showed you before was an import one. This is a British DVD of it. It's got some good extras on this, which aren't on the other one, so that's... Don't mind double dipping because of that, but it still doesn't contain the missing scene. But yeah, Scandal's one of my favourite films. And I talked about it before, so that's why I've not gone into too much depth. This is a great film. This is Venus. So this stars Peter O'Toole and Leslie Phillips. And Peter O'Toole's an ageing actor who... he's on his way out, shall we say. He's getting on a bit, and he meets the grandniece of one of his friends, played by Jodie Whittaker, aka the Doctor, and he's smitten with her, and she looks after him, and they form a little friendshipy type thing, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful film, and highly recommended. This is far from a beautiful film, but it is also highly recommended. This is More Than Caller, starring Samantha Morton, who I'm a huge fan of. Basically, she plays More Than Caller. She finds her boyfriend dead, and it sends her on a spiral of destruction. Let's put it that way. But yeah, really good film. Finding Nemo. I'm sure you're all aware of Finding Nemo. I like this cover. It's got a little bit of sheen to it. This is actually the Canadian release. Because again, I think I had this before it was even in the cinema over here. Or not long after, anyway. But yes, you're all familiar with Finding Nemo. You all know how good it is. This isn't good. This is Fire on the Amazon. This I got very cheap. This is a pre-fame Sandra Bullock. Deep in the hot and steamy Amazon jungle, activist Alyssa Rothman, obviously Sandra Bullock, helped a brash photojournalists investigate the assassination of a famous environmentalist at the risk of their own lives. Yeah, I mean, nobody else of any note in the cast. They even list the cast properly on the back of a film of a case because there's nothing else to say about it. I say it's not very good. This is really good. This is Super Bob. So this is a British comedy from a couple of years ago, written by and starring Brett Goldstein, who you may know from Derek if you watched that, the Ricky Gervais TV series. Also stars Natalia Tenner, who is just one of my favourite people on the planet, Laura Haddock, who I am madly in love with, David Harewood and Catherine Tate. So, Brett plays Super Bob, who is a superhero in London, who's basically just trying to get on with his normal life. And then he has to be a civil servant as part of the British government. He's sort of regulated, and sort of the tales about that. It's just a really, really good film. Really fun. It's funny. It's a good story. It's brilliant acting. I highly, highly recommend Super Bob. Another film you're all familiar with. This is Shrek. This is the original one. This is the best one. Although Shrek 2 was very good as well. So you're all familiar with Shrek. If you're not, where have you been living? This is Among Friends. So this was directed by... Did she write it as well? No, she didn't write it. But this was directed by the actress Danielle Harris, who played Bruce Willis's daughter in The Last Boy Scout. And then she was also, as a kid, she was in Halloween 20 or 2020, that one, whatever it was. I think she was in that one. She might even have been in a couple of her Halloween later sequels, but then she went on as an adult to be in the remakes, the Rob Zombie remakes, and she's done lots of horror work, some of the Hatchet films, various bits and bobs. And she's a lovely, lovely person. I met her. I met her for The Last Boy Scout because that's probably my favourite action film of the 80s. And I hadn't seen her adult work, if you like. But since she was so nice, I wanted to, see more of her, shall we say. So I have bought a few more of her bits. And through her website, she was selling this, which, as I say, she directed. And it was signed, so got it signed and dedicated to me. And then one of the stars of it is Jennifer Blanc Bean. She's married to Michael Bean. She's appeared in a few films with him and various other films. And met her at convention, so got her to sign it as well. I'm not sure what that word says. No, but she was lovely. She was talking about the film, and she was sat next to Michael Bean, who I'd already met. But she was look, And it's a silly horror type film, a dinner party. Right, it's a 80s themed murder mystery party that becomes less of a party, shall we say? But yeah, it's fun and enjoyable film. It's among friends. This is Donnie Darko. I've got a feeling I've already shown you a version of this, because I got the director's cut edition with a commentary with Kevin Smith and all sorts. I'm pretty certain I've already shown you this. Apologies if I haven't, so I won't go into too much details, but I'm pretty certain I have. But yeah, I really like Donnie Darko. This is a Region 1 DVD of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. So, the Kevin Smith film. I love this film. Although Dogma is my favourite viewer skew film, and is my third favourite film of all time, this is the viewer skew film I've watched the most, because it's just such a fun watch. And, basically, Jay and Silent Bob became the basis for the comic characters Bluntman and Chronic in Chasing Amy, and then they find out that a film is being made of Bluntman and Chronic, and they don't want it to happen, so they go across country to Hollywood from New Jersey to try and stop it happening. And they meet various people en route, including a girl gang of bank robbers and various other people, some of whom may strongly resemble characters from Scooby-Doo. But it's just such a funny film. Along the way, they pick up an orangutan. I just love this film. Absolutely love it. And this is a brilliant set with loads and loads and loads of extras. This is Jubilee, the Derek Jarman film from 79? 77. So based in the world of punk. It's a strange film. Queen Elizabeth I is transported by an angel back to punk England, in theory, to stop Britain going, to a bleak England of the future where chaos now reigns, to try and get things back on track. But she falls in with a bunch of punks, and it's just sort of the story of their punky life. It's hard to explain, but it's a film I really enjoy. Great cast. Toya, Adamant, a young Adamant. Jenny Runacre plays Queen Elizabeth. Nell Campbell, Little Nell, Columbia from Rocky Horror. Wayne County, Richard O'Brien, creator of Rocky Horror. Great soundtrack, lots of punk acts. Yeah, it's a film I really like. And finally for this part, we have performance. So it's directed by Donald Campbell and Nicholas Roeg. James Fox is a hitman who goes on a run and ends up in staying with Turner, who's a reclusive rock star played by Mick Jagger. James Fox. Oh, I said James Fox, didn't I? And he lives there with Turner. Lives there with his two girlfriends, played by Anita Pallenberg and Michelle Breton. And it's all very weird and psychedelic-y and typical Nick Roeg visuals, and just it doesn't really make sense, but really enjoyable watch and great performances. Really good film. Yep, so that's it for this part. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on another video. Thanks, bye.